Marie is one of the first female coordinators for the Grace House that is still going today, totally peer run. Every once in a while I show up, and they're actually my family today. Marie, it's so good to see you again. I haven't seen her in a long time. She came all the way up from New Jersey to be with you tonight to share her story.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Marie. I'm an addict. And it's really an honor to be here, and I just want to thank Dr. Valley for asking me to participate in this event, and by doing so, this also allows me to participate in my recovery. I am basically, how I got into recovery is basically because of probation and actually being forced into being clean when I didn't want to. And, you know, I grew up in a very good home. My parents loved me. I had both parents. I'm the youngest of four. We had 2 homes. I went to a good school. So what I'm trying to say is I did not come from a broken home or really didn't have any reason to use. And, you know, I started using when I was 13 years old. My first consequence was being thrown out of Catholic school after going there for 8 years and being the 4th child that my parents sent there. They definitely were not happy, okay? And they even went down there to fight for me to try to get me to graduate. They wanted to know what proof the school had that I was actually smoking marijuana. But anyway, you know, I started out just, you know, doing things like with marijuana and alcohol at a young age, and the next thing I know, I'm 21 years old, and I'm in a business school. I wanted to be a paralegal, and I was using, you know, I was using different substances. I wasn't able to fully give of myself, you know. The lifestyle that I started getting into opened up a lot of fear, and I found myself being afraid of a lot of things that normal people usually aren't afraid of, and I could never really identify where that fear was coming from. I had no idea about addiction. What I thought about addiction was somebody with a needle in their arm, and that was something that I thought that I would never do. I thought that that was beneath me, you know. So, you know, as my life went on, I started to get into more arenas of drugs and different styles and doing different things that, again, I thought I would never do. And what I didn't realize was that my addiction, which I recognize today, was slowly eating away at my spirit, you know. And somebody said it here earlier tonight, like in active addiction, there's nothing funny. What it did for me was I lost the ability to feel, I lost the ability to laugh, I lost the ability to cry. I slowly isolated from my family, and I used to have my father leave money for me under the mat because I was too embarrassed. I didn't want him to see me, because I had dropped out of business school. I was working as a stripper. I got caught up in that lifestyle for 8 years as a stripper with drugs and alcohol, and I didn't know how to get out of it. You know, and like eventually my father, who was a Rutgers graduate and a businessman in New York City, found out what I was doing, you know, and at that time I just didn't even care anymore, you know. And, you know, evictions and all that stuff slowly started coming in. I lived all over the state of New Jersey. You know, I was being evicted. I eventually came to the point of doing the unspeakable of what I thought an addict was, you know. And at probably age 27, I picked up heroin for the first time because another drug that I was doing became unavailable to me. And I actually was arrested for the first time at 30 years old in Morris County, New Jersey. I was on my way back from New York City, and I got pulled over. And I got caught with about 6 bags of heroin. The only thought in my mind, it's not that I'm getting arrested, it's not that they're going to take my car. The only thing is, oh my God, I'm gonna go into withdrawal. Like, how long is it until I go into withdrawal? That's all that mattered to me. What I didn't know was that night was the turning point for me to be where I am tonight, standing here tonight. I just didn't know it. I hated the cops, and the cops hated me. What motivates me today in my life is the things that people called me when I was out there using. When I was out there on the street corner, when I was out there doing drugs, no matter what my addiction had me doing, I remember people calling me certain names. I remember police officers referring to me as certain things. And inside the mind of me, you know, my addiction, to be an addict, for me, it's like my addiction is running the show. It has me doing things I don't want to be doing, and I'm watching everything, and I don't want to do it, but I've got no choice. And it's a horrible, horrible existence, and really the only way to actually know that is to actually live in that existence. I eventually ended up being threatened with coming to Massachusetts in 1995 because I couldn't stop using. And I wanted nothing to do with Massachusetts. I was like, I don't want to go up there because there's no drugs up there. I couldn't think past the Bronx and Harlem, you know? I ended up, you know, they were threatening me. I ended up in Rikers Island at one point, which I'll never forget that experience. You know, you want to talk about a lost spirit. You know, you want to talk about being treated like lowered and low. I was from New Jersey. They did not like me over at Rikers Island. And I was over there and, you know, just waiting to be extradited to go back to New Jersey. I remember going to an NA meeting just to get out of my cell in Rikers Island.